blaze at Lake Mead near Hollywood. Channel 8 Eyewitness News is live. Janine Gill joins us from the scene with more. Janine.
We're here in an isolated area on the backside of Sunrise Mountain. Homicide detectives are here on the scene examining the remains of a charred body. This all started as a fire. Work crews from the Department of Transportation were in the area and saw a brush fire. They called the fire department, and when firefighters extinguished the blaze, they discovered the body. Detectives are trying to determine whether the body was dumped or not and intentionally set on fire. That's just one of the theories. They still just don't know yet. Police say the body was so badly burned they cannot tell yet if it is a man or a woman. Now, work crews from the Department of Transportation are still here on the scene waiting to be interviewed by police. I spoke with one of them off camera, and he told me that he and his co-workers are still pretty shaken up because this is not something that they were expecting during a typical work day. We'll have more information as soon as it becomes available. Janine Gill, Channel 8 Eyewitness News, live.
Thank you for that report, Janine. A woman is dead and another wounded following an early morning shooting. The two women were shot as they slept in a car outside the Kimberly Place apartments on Sierra Vista and Cambridge. Police say there may have been more than one person involved in the shooting, and they believe the victims were homeless. Investigators are currently interviewing witnesses. If you have any information on this shooting, call the Crime Stoppers hotline.
Metro is scaling back its investigation of traffic accidents. The move is meant to save the department money, but some fear it could allow safety concerns to slip through the cracks. Channel 8 Eyewitness News is live. Jon Summers joins us to explain. Jon.
Gary, one of the reasons for investigating fatal traffic accidents is to prevent ones in the future, but some investigators say a newly created policy may put that goal in jeopardy.
Our concern is what's at hand, and that's the death of an individual. And we want to give every single death all the attention we can give it.
Metro Sergeant Kurt Albert says because of work done by accident investigators nationwide, authorities were able to determine there was a problem with Firestone tires.
It took years to finally figure out what was causing these tires to do it, but fortunately it was finally discovered. Firestone corrected the problem, and it's much safer for everybody.
Most of the crashes involving Firestone tires were single car accidents. Now Metro is changing the way it investigates those types of wrecks. Captain Rick Bilyeu says now only one investigator will be called out to single car accidents instead of the normal 2 or 3.
Why would you send or oversend at taxpayer expense? Why would you oversend personnel to handle an accident to basically stand around and twiddle their thumbs?
When investigators are called to a scene during their off hours, they get 4 hours of call-out pay, which is time and a half. Bilyeu says call-out pay cost more than 95,000 taxpayer dollars last year. He hopes the new policy will cut that in half.
It may take 4 or 5 hours to get that done versus the 1 or 2 hours that it would take if you sent out 3 investigators.
Valley driver Aurora Tarvin has her doubts about the plan.
I don't think one will be enough in that case. So it should be on a case-to-case basis.
Bilyeu says it will be, and if more investigators are needed, they'll be called. Still, some investigators worry without an extra set of eyes, they'll miss something that could prevent future situations similar to the Firestone case. And Bilyeu also says exceptions will be made to this policy depending on where the accident occurs, the time of day, and if there's heavy traffic. He also says that there are certain procedures that must always be followed when investigating any fatal traffic accident, and he says that procedure will still continue. I'm Jon Summers, Channel 8 Eyewitness News, live.
Jon, thank you very much. An accident in one part of the valley is messing up traffic this afternoon. Victor Waddell joins us live from Ch.8. He is near DI and Wallapai. Victor.
Good afternoon, Gary. We're not doing very well on the byways and on the surface streets. We'll start first with this surface street. This is at DI and Wallapai. You see now from this live shot from Ch.8, it is a rolled over vehicle in the lane here on DI. It's not really causing that much of a backup, but it is one of the few accidents that is on the surface streets. The rest of the afternoon accidents are on these freeways today. The biggest one is 15 northbound at Cheyenne. We have an overturned truck up there as well. It is blocking things up from Lake Mead north on 15 all the way through to Cheyenne. And of course this one right here at DI and Wallapai. Reporting from Ch.8, I'm Victor Woodall, Channel 8 Eyewitness News live.
And a very good afternoon. All right. Thank you, Victor.
Some area stores were left financially adrift when a shopping center's anchor tenant pulled out. Up next, 8 on Your Side consumer editor Michael Geeser takes a look at the problem.
First, though, here's a look at what's coming up on the CBS Evening News.
Tonight, anchorman Dan Rather will be reporting from the Persian Gulf on the battle for Baghdad and today's raids on Saddam Hussein's palaces. That's tonight's CBS Evening News.
I'm Kevin Janison of the Channel 8 Weather Office. We've got more mighty fine weather to talk about for the week, but oh my, things are changing again. Complete forecast, all your neighborhood weather just a few minutes away, but as we head to break, real-time conditions near Wigwam and the Green Valley Parkway. We'll be right back.
You're watching Channel 8 Eyewitness News at 5 with Gary Waddell, Paula Francis, and neighborhood weather with Kevin Janison. Channel 8 Eyewitness News, the news leader.
The west side of town is booming with development. Major retailers are building stores at Tropicana and Fort Apache.
But as one local businessman is finding out, buildings going up doesn't ensure success. 8 on Your Side consumer editor Michael Geeser is here with the story. Michael.
Well, for business owners at Crossroads Plaza, opening up a store in a shopping center anchored by a Raley's grocery store was a bet, or at least they thought it was. Then Raley's announced it was pulling out of Las Vegas, and in doing so left a brand new grocery store sitting idle, forcing nearby business owners to wonder what the future holds.
Oh, it's been disappointing.
As a licensed chiropractor, Rich Bakir knows all about aches and pains. But each time this small business owner looks out his storefront, he gets a pain in the neck, caused by the sight of this vacant grocery store, which sits with its doors locked.
The whole reason we chose this shopping center, as opposed to maybe another strip mall type of location that doesn't have that, an anchor, so to speak, it's just a lot of small shops. We picked that knowing there was going to be a grocery store in here. We've just been sitting here waiting, and you know, there's nothing here right now.
What has local business owners frustrated is that there's no sign of anyone moving in. Decor Property manages the center. Along with Colliers International, a commercial real estate company, they're trying to find a potential tenant. A spokesman with Decor told 8 on Your Side, Raley's still owns the building and is also looking for someone to lease the space. But so far, they haven't had any luck. Now, business owners here in the shopping center face the question of how much longer they can stay open.
That's a good question, and I think my wife and I struggle with that every day. It doesn't look good for us as far as rent, that type of thing.
What could make it even worse for Bakir is if he's forced to leave before a grocery store opens.
And I know we're not the only ones in that situation. There's a lot of small business owners in here that, you know, are looking at probably not being able to complete their lease here.
For now, business owners like Rich Bakir are holding on with everything they've got. But several in the center aren't sure how long they'll last. While no one from Decor or Colliers International would speak with us on camera, we were told that they want a new tenant as badly as the business owners already there. They say they're working hard to find a replacement and continuing to invest money into the shopping center. 2 long-distance telephone companies operating here in Las Vegas may have their common carrier status revoked by the FCC. Nevada Attorney General Brian Sandoval announced today that NOS Communications and Affinity Networks may no longer be able to provide local or long-distance services outside of Nevada. The state attorney general's office believes the 2 companies are engaging in deceptive trade practices. The state Supreme Court is currently reviewing those charges.
Michael, back to the shopping center story. When Kroger purchased Raley's, why didn't they take over the store too?
Raley's sold 18 of its stores to Kroger's. They held on to 3 of them, and this is one of them. In fact, they still have a 20-year lease on this building, so they, along with the landlords, are working feverishly to try and find someone to come in. So far, no one has.
Interesting. Thanks, Michael.
Thanks. The desert may seem like a strange place to observe sea life, but in fact, you can find marine animals all up and down the Strip. That's great for visitors, but some people say it's not too good for the animals themselves. Channel 8 Eyewitness News anchor Lisa Johnson explains. dolphins.
The former dolphin trainer for the 1960s TV show Flipper also worked on the Mirage Dolphin Habitat project. But now Rick O'Barry is on a different mission. He's in Las Vegas hoping to raise awareness about what he calls cruel and punishing treatment for the mammals.
We're talking about a sonic creature in a concrete box.
O'Barry is now a marine mammal specialist for the World Society for the Protection of Animals. He told Eyewitness News he's in town to meet with local entertainment and casino officials to work towards turning the Mirage Habitat into a rehabilitation and release center. He says he actually helped build the habitat back in the late 80s, but left the project when he realized Steve Wynn had no intention of releasing the marine mammals.
They're ornamental dolphins that are a draw for the casino, and that's what it's all about. And the hope was to bring them here and to evaluate them to see if they could be returned to their home range.
O'Barry told Eyewitness News he is setting up a meeting with Siegfried and Roy to discuss dolphin exhibit into a rescue habitat and to make sure no more dolphin aquariums are allowed in Las Vegas. But a spokesman for the entertainers said he's never heard of O'Barry and there's been no talk of any such meeting. Meanwhile, MGM Mirage spokesman Alan Feldman was quick to discredit O'Barry, calling him a professional fundraiser and saying the habitat provides a good life for the dolphins. O'Barry disagrees.
These are just surviving. Living is doing things. Living is swimming 40 miles throughout the day, chasing fish.
Lisa Johnson, Channel 8, Eyewitness News.
The Mirage Dolphin Habitat opened in November of 1990. There are 10 dolphins at the habitat. Another baby dolphin was born there just 6 weeks ago.
Kevin is back with our weather. Another day that you don't want to live anywhere else.
No, exactly. Kind of, you know, some of those days last week with the wind, you have to kind of look over your shoulder and everything. But right now, we're doing okay weather-wise, and we should continue to do okay. I feel a sneeze coming on. I'm going to have to stop this. This might not be good. All right. Thank you very much. I'm trying to save it. I should. It's all that pollen still floating around as olive season begins. Here's a great view from our camera mounted on top of the Stratosphere Tower. The valley sparkles, and look at all the daylight we still have here at about 5:15 o'clock. We'll begin with real-time neighborhood weather, and the first stop will be near Camino El Dorado and Ann Road up at Antonello Elementary. They're at 67 degrees. A little breeze blowing right now at 12 miles per hour, but very dry air, as you might imagine, with the humidity at 18%. Near DI and the Beltway, 64 with a gentle breeze at 8 miles per hour, humidity at 20%. Boulder City comes in at 64 degrees and for the moment calm, and near Sahara and I-15 at 67 and now 12 miles per hour. We'll have this little breeze for a while this evening, but it should back off during the late night hours. Current temperature still 70 degrees in a couple of neighborhoods. Other neighborhoods around the edges of the valley pretty much in the mid-60s. Outside of town, it's 47 on the mountain. Out of the Red Rock Visitor Center, 61. And the Lake Mead Marina checks in at 72. Still in the 80s in Death Valley. Now here are the peak wind gusts in neighborhoods across the valley. 29-mile-per-hour gust over the south end and up near Buffalo and Cheyenne. There was a gust of wind of 31. Outside the valley, Prim had a gust of wind of 32 miles per hour, and down in Searchlight a gust to an even 30. Okay, high temperatures today. Look at all these neighborhoods making it back into the 70s today, and those that didn't were close. 49 up on the mountain, 69 in Overton. Sandy Valley at 76, while Death Valley led the way at 85. At McCarran, the top temperature today was 69, 7 shy of normal, but we'll improve on that over the next couple of days. And air quality back in the good category. Of course, that's the pollutants, not the pollen that's in the air, which is still in the moderate to high category. Baghdad at 91 today, 93 tomorrow. Remember, they were at 100 over the weekend. Back home, cold air colliding with warm air, and when they do that, the strong thunderstorms are firing up, especially from Mississippi through Georgia, some of these reaching severe levels. And I'm telling you, it has been a relentless winter in the upper Midwest, all the way into New England. Another band of snow moving in that direction. It has been one storm system after another for those folks. We are clear, but there is a front lurking off the coast. And in advance of the front, the winds are coming up out of the southwest, especially in the upper levels of the atmosphere. That's going to return us to reality, and the warmer air is coming back. Here's your forecast first for the remainder of tonight. 48 degrees under a clear sky with a manageable northerly breeze, 5 to 15 miles per hour. We'll bounce back to 78 tomorrow. Some neighborhoods should easily make it into the 80s. A gentle breeze tomorrow, and a look ahead at your 7-day forecast. Look at these highs in the mid-80s as we get toward the end of the week, but hold on. The wind is coming back. We will even have a chance for rain early next week, and you can't go from highs in the mid-80s to the mid-60s on Monday without some turbulence, and that is pandas due in this weekend. Turbulent times again. Springtime. You know, we just can't. We can't hide from the wind here. Exactly.
Thanks, Kevin.
Okay.
More than 40 million Americans live with a constant ringing in the ears. It's known as tinnitus. Coming up in Your Health at 5, I'll tell you about a new area clinic that is helping to treat the problem.
And a little later, a giant panda approach to international relations.
In Your Health at 5, more than 40 million Americans experience a hearing-related problem called tinnitus. It can almost drive you crazy. A person with tinnitus hears a distracting sound such as a ringing or buzzing. Now, a new clinic in Las Vegas specializes in the treatment of tinnitus. Tinnitus can be a mild and short-lived problem, or it can be distracting to the point of disrupting sleep and a person's social life. There are several possible causes, including exposure to damaging decibel levels of sound. There is no cure for tinnitus, but Dr. Julie Swenson tells us that tinnitus retraining therapy, or TRT, can help.
Tinnitus retraining therapy is a habituation-oriented treatment. So what we're trying to do is reset the subconscious auditory pathways in order for people to not be aware of the tinnitus signal. In a way, we're blocking the tinnitus from ever reaching the brain.
Dr. Swenson says it can take 6 months of retraining therapy to see positive results. Many tinnitus sufferers also experience hearing loss, and that can be treated too. You'll find more information about tinnitus at our website, KLASTV.com. The death toll from severe acute respiratory syndrome, or SARS, is rising. Health officials testified before a congressional panel today, calling SARS an epidemic. There have been 100 deaths worldwide and more than 2,000 cases. While no one has died in the U.S., 8 people have died in Canada. Researchers believe the illness jumped from animals to humans in southern China and spread through coughs and sneezes. Health officials recommend that travelers put off any non-essential trips to China, Singapore, or Vietnam. Adding yogurt and juice to your diet could help you avoid painful infections. That's your Real Age tip of the day. A recent study of women found that those who regularly consumed fresh juice, yogurt, and cheese were less likely to develop urinary tract infections than those who did not. Researchers believe the antioxidants in fresh juices and active cultures in yogurt and cheese actually inhibit the bacteria that causes those UTIs. And that's your Health at 5. Gary?
Thank you, Paula. Some unusual diplomats are here in the United States. The story when Channel 8 Eyewitness News returns.
Hi, I'm Paula Francis. Channel 8 and our Buddy Check sponsors want you to be part of the Channel 8 team at the Race for the Cure. Just call the number on your screen or log on to KLASTV.com and sign up today. Then join us at the starting line on May 3rd. Be one of the first 500 to sign up and get a Channel 8 Racers wristband. So join the Channel 8 team for the Komen Las Vegas Race for the Cure.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Cardiology Center of Excellence at Valley Hospital, performing advanced heart care procedures every day.
So visitors from China are going to live in Memphis. This pair of pandas received a warm welcome at their new home at the Memphis Zoo today. Yaya and Lur made the long trip as part of China's panda diplomacy program. Started 30 years ago when China gave the first set of precious pandas to the Washington Zoo. They've been a symbol of intercultural friendship ever since, aren't they?
Just generally cute as heck.
You don't want to walk into that cage.
No. Basketball follows. We'll see you after the game.